At 6, dangerous exotic pets are now banned in Ohio. Good evening. I'm Michelle Kingsfield.
And I'm Mark Allen. Governor Kasich signed the law today, nearly 8 months after deputies and others killed dozens of lions, tigers, and bears that had been released by their owner in Zanesville. Megan O'Rourke was in Columbus for today's signing. New at 6, she outlines what the changes mean for our safety.
All eyes are on Ohio today in regards to exotic animals, but this time not because of tragedy. Instead, the state's new stance after the governor signed the bill into law.
This is history in Ohio. This is completely new. Okay?
Surrounded by supporters, Governor John Kasich signs off on Senate Bill 310, the Ohio Dangerous Wildlife Act.
Okay, it's law. It is now law.
And with his signature comes a laundry list of new criteria. The law bans new ownership of dangerous wild animals. Current owners will be grandfathered in, but must obtain liability insurance and comply with tougher housing and safety standards, like microchipping and signage. Also, owners will be required to have a criminal background check.
We now have put in place a series of laws that I believe are going to provide, in a common-sense, reasonable way, security for Ohioans.
Public safety played a big part in the legislation that became a political priority after a Zanesville man released his 50 wild animals, including tigers, bears, and mountain lions last fall before committing suicide.
I know what it felt like because I was there, and I'm glad none of you were there. But the thing is, we don't ever hopefully have to go through this again, thanks to all this work here.
Jack Hanna, former director of the Columbus Zoo and internationally known wildlife expert, commended state leaders for passing the legislation. He says it's needed to protect lives, both animal and human, and others agree, including the Muskingum County Sheriff, who was in charge in Zanesville.
What comes down to me is, we don't usually have an opinion. We have to do with what the law says, and I think everything in this bill is going to help us get a handle on what we have in our state.
A first step that's expected to make a big difference.
There's no foolproof protection here, but, I think the public just demands common sense, and I think that's what we have in this bill.
Everyone today emphasizing just how much hard work went into getting this bill passed. And just to give you some perspective, this was the 16th draft that became law. Reporting in Columbus, Megan O'Rourke, 2 News.